Actually, I'm the Nostalgia Critic, also known as that guy with the glasses, also known as Douglas Darien. I'm going to talk about this Harry Potter event that I went to, and I should say the way we came up with it, or I came up with it, is that I literally heard that day, the night this was going on, that there's some sort of, that the last book was going to be released, the last Harry Potter book. I remember though always hearing people wait in line and dress up and stuff like that, so I thought, maybe I should cover this. And I called my friend Bargo, I asked if he could do the camera work. He says, I don't know, is it worth it? And even I wasn't really sure. And he calls back and he says it turns out in Oak Park, which is very close to where we live, they're having the largest gathering in the United States of Harry Potter fans, because this is where it started in America. It started in this bookstore in Oak Park. And so he shook his head and pretty much said, we have to do this now, don't we? And I said, yeah, I think we do. So literally, the majority of this is improvised. I think about 90-95% of it is just made up on the spot. Actually, this woman here is the owner of the bookstore. You know, she couldn't just sit back, and sell books and stuff. She had to be outside moderating lines and stuff like that. I felt very bad for her, but she was very nice. And even though, I'm making fun of these people and stuff like that, and everyone calls them weirdos and stuff, I gotta say, these were very, very nice people and had great sense of humor to them, even if they were a little odd, to say the least, but my guess is that there's probably stranger people. It was incredible. I mean, look at that street. The whole street is just filled with people, just dedicated to Harry Potter. And I have not read any of the Harry Potter books. I saw the movies. I didn't really get into them. I'm sure the books are good, but I'm not a huge fantasy guy, so never did quite get into that. Surprisingly, that hasn't gotten too many bad marks. Oh, this kid actually was really, really funny, but we had to cut a lot, actually all of what he said, because A, for time restrictions, and B, it was hard to hear him. The sound on a lot of this isn't that good. We had to put captions everywhere and stuff, but I remember he was pretty funny. He actually had some good comebacks and everything, so I felt bad that we had to keep him out of the video. Okay, here's a secret for you. This scene right here is actually not at Oak Park. This is done actually in my backyard at night. Which is not to say this wasn't done at Oak Park. Well, actually, this part wasn't. I had this idea, and I wanted to do this where I eat all the jelly beans, but nobody was selling the jelly beans. I couldn't believe it. They're selling all this Harry Potter crap, and they weren't selling the most popular item, the jelly beans. So I just came back, and I said, okay, let's just film this outside. We'll add some sound effects. It's like I'm still at Oak Park, so... so somehow that worked out. Yeah, I still didn't get this. The line starts at 11 o'clock at the bookstore, and yet the one at the library was open until, the morning or something. I have no idea how that works. I don't know why Gandalf was there. That was really weird. As you can see, like I said, these people are very nice and very cooperative and stuff like that. Even when I cut in line here, the girls are kind of laughing and stuff like that, but they're not really, nobody was actually gonna shoot me or anything, though there was a cop there you can probably see with a gun. I think the only thing that was really prepared was obviously the Harry Potter Cliff Notes, which I had there, which it turns out is the reason why the MuggleNet.com guys talked to us, because they saw that envelope and they heard rumors that people were going around ruining the end of the book by shouting out the ending. So they thought I was going to do that, so they agreed to the interview. And which literally they just walked by, and I just called them up and I just said, hey, talk to me, and they did. I didn't even know who they were, to be honest. I guess they're, but in terms of Harry Potter, next to J.K. Rowling, they're like the most popular people associated with the books. So, I really just looked out there. Benny Hill music. You can even see they question me about it. They're like, are those Cliff Notes? What are you up to? And stuff like that. As you can see, they're obviously very funny people. And these guys were being treated like superstars. There were girls screaming for them. They were signing books. I guess they wrote books. And, you know, I mean, these people were like the celebrities of the night. It was very interesting. So I think I really lucked out getting a chance to talk to him. This scene too is done outside, not outside my backyard. Now we actually did shoot this at Oak Park, but it just didn't look good. The sound was really cracking up. There were too many people talking, so we decided. I mean, it's the exact same dialogue. I mean, nothing is different except the location. So I don't think it's really cheating. I think you know, it's just making it look better and sound better. And I still have no idea what sense this makes. It's reserved. Why stand in line if it's reserved? I mean, what? I don't know. I felt bad for the bookshop, too, because they're the people that started it, and yet everybody lines up outside the library. I thought that was kind of a rip.
It's reserved! Isn't that the idea of reserving a book so you don't have to...
I found out that they actually overstocked on all these books, and the next day, I think, actually the next day when I went to film the jelly beans thing, I got some jelly beans. I saw a ton of those books, and I said, I'm surprised you still have some, and the bookstore said that every bookstore you can imagine overstocked. So, it's probably not good for business, but I'm sure they sold them in the end. Oh, this guy here, I felt so bad insulting him. He wasn't even part of the show. He just comes out, he's wearing his normal wear, his kilt, and I'm making fun of him, say he's one of the Harry Potter fans, and it turns out he's just a normal guy walking about, you know, the streets, and here's this jackass comes in, you know, hat and tie, making fun of him, but like I say, you can see he's having a good laugh at it. And made for another great run joke. Alright, and at this scene, I had no idea what I was going to do. In fact, I didn't even know if the bit was working. I kind of said, do you want to go home? Do you really want to stay here? I was telling my cameraman this, and he says, no, let's stay. Let's see what we can get out of this. And when I got to this point, we were thinking, what are we going to do? And I said, I'm just going to go insane. I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs and go roll around the floor. I'm going to go nuts. I saw this group of girls right next to me look at me as I said that, and I don't think I've ever seen a group of girls get away from me so fast. They just heard what I was going to do, and they practically fled. They ran. So, and of course, this is the part that everybody loves the most, is me screaming. And yes, that's really my scream. I can get my voice that high. And then the book here, actually the couple coming out here, I asked, can I just use this book for something I'm filming? And they said, sure. And when I start to walk off here, they thought I was going to steal it, and we cut right before they run across the camera saying, hey, give the book back. And I really did lose my hat at this get-together, which kind of sucks. But, you know, it's funny to put the tie on my head like I went through something incredible like Rambo or something, so... And that was the Harry Potter get-together.